Hello, viewers. This is Veronique Malka of the Canadian Law Group, and today we're doing a short podcast and pleased to be interviewing our one and only Alina Sklar, also a Canadian immigration lawyer. She hails from Montreal as I do. Alina, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Alina Sklar. As Veronique mentioned, I come from Montreal, Canada. I studied in Ottawa, worked in Toronto, was born in Israel, and now I'm here in New York working with the Canadian Law Group, and I'm happy to be joining you today.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So today we're meeting just because we want to get behind the minds of immigration lawyers. So very often people see their lawyer, they hear their lawyer, they pay their lawyer, but there's a human behind that face. And there's emotions, there's pressures and everything else that goes alongside being a lawyer. So today we are going to delve a little bit into Alina. And if you would like, let's start by sharing with us why it is that you left Canada to come work here in New York area for the Canadian Law Group.
Yes, why I left Canada. I felt fulfilled in my career, but something was missing. I wanted to develop further, build community, deepen my skills, and align my life with the vision I hold for myself. So the move was both personal and professional, driven by my desire for growth, for impact, and a greater visibility as a lawyer beyond borders. I believe our dream is truly fulfilled when it begins within, grows through learning and action, and ultimately expand to benefit others. So the move was the next step in my journey. And I wanted to be closer to the clients I was already supporting with cross-border matters, particularly immigration and legal strategy between Canada and the US. So with a lot of thinking and maybe some guiding and luck, I happened to come here and I'm in New York now.
That's right. So we discovered 20 years ago when we opened up Canadian Law Group that there was a whole host of people living in the US who were looking to move to Canada. And that's how we became cross-border firm. So you just mentioned how you moved to the US to be closer to those people that you service. And certainly right now, with the changes in the US immigration and the US administration, we are finding a huge uptick, would you say, on inquiries of people in the US looking to possibly go to Canada for a variety of reasons. Can you comment on that?
Yes, absolutely. And it's both ways. And I think if everybody is growing and life is evolving, and it's a good question to ask ourselves, is the life I'm having right now aligned with my values? Am I happy or am I just comfortable? And then to ask those questions, to inquire, to ask lawyers. And then when you're comfortable with that decision, to do the next step and to lead for the life you wanted, not to the life you thought you had to follow. So we're here to help you with that dream. And if it's Canada for whatever reason, we're here to make that happen, be close to you, and to provide a service that is also tailored with the experience of being outside of Canada as well, which is different than if you're already in Canada. So I really love that dynamic, and I did see the shift. So I'm happy that we can provide that service.
Right, because we're both immigrants really to the US. So I went through the process of becoming a US citizen, and you went through the process of obtaining a work permit as a lawyer. And do you want to tell us a little bit about that and how that happened? What was that like? Going to the border. Tell the viewers what it's like to go to the border and apply and obtain a work permit.
Yes, yes, that's a very, very good question. And I'm happy I experienced this because applying under CUSMA, formerly NAFTA, as a Canadian, going to work in the US and asking for that work permit was eye-opening as a lawyer, navigating the same processes my clients go through. It's one thing when you know the law and you're advising your clients and you know the requirements, but it's law and legal matters or the knowledge, but also the human being. And the human being comes with anxiety, with emotions, with the process, with your dreams, your hopes, and to be able to have that depth um, allows me to provide a service that is more complete now, and also to anticipate some questions that are related to the human experience, not just the legal questions and fulfilling those requirements. So I experienced the nerves, the uncertainty with that, and I think it definitely sharpened my advocacy going forward. So I'm quite excited that I did go through that experience. I remember every detail, from preparing the documents to speaking to the officer. It gave me a new appreciation for how important good legal preparation is, because our documents, our application was clear, organized, and complete. I could trust the process. It unfolded smoothly without overthinking, simply because the groundwork was done right, thanks to the Canadian Law Group, Veronique. Um,
You prepared
the
it. I just reviewed it. That's what.
But it's us as a lawyers and your guidance. And yes, it's kind of interesting to do it for myself and through you
Right.
and with the Canadian Law Group, but to know that, to go through it ourselves. So we're offering a service we also believe in because we're going through it too. So what better experience then I chose it for myself too, and I did it this way too when I'm offering it towards the clients. But even as a legal professional, I was struck by how subjective the experience at the port of entry can be. So having that widened definitely is something I can bring forward. But preparation, organization goes a long way. So I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, so I remember your package was really beautifully prepared, and you had tabs and you had separators and you had even a gloss sheet on top. We do like to put nice packages together. Did you find that that made a difference for the officer who was reviewing your application?
Absolutely, for two reasons. For the legal reason, the practical reason of meeting the requirements, absolutely, because the requirements, the paperwork, the supporting documents were clear. There's no thinking involved. You just had to ABC, go through the process. With that, if somehow I didn't sleep or I woke up sick that same day, or human things happen, I didn't need to rely on my ability to now be on top of my game. The work that spoke for itself. And because of that, I didn't need to be a lawyer or wear my lawyer hat when I was crossing or remember every little detail. I just submitted my application and it was very simple. I got one or two questions and it trusted the system. The second aspect, the human aspect that I found how the preparation played a part is it shows how you trust in your application. It shows who you are as an individual coming into the country, for myself, the US, and it provides messaging. When I tell clients just about, if you're in court, answering questions from a judge or anybody assessing you, your credibility, they're looking at what you say, but also how you present. Everything gives messages. So if your documents are organized and they're well put together, it shows that you took your application seriously and you're someone who be trusted. So it's you have a couple minutes to show them who you are and give them um,
Make a
the
best
opportunity.
impression. You want to make,
Exactly,
you only
and
have one
trust in.
shot at it, really. Yeah.
Exactly, but you want them to know who you are and trust that you want to come into the US to help and make the country better for whatever objective you come to. So it's really hard to, hey, in 2 minutes, enter my brain. These are my values. This is what I want to do. I want to be a productive member of society. So when you can't speak, sometimes there's other manners to convey that message. So I recommend it every single time.
How long was the whole process at the border when you were waiting to apply?
So I no, the me that I am, I researched the timing, where's the good time, and I plan to plan according to that. So it's a very good question. And you're going into my brain now. So I realized that going into the evening, officers may be tired, there's flight delays, there's people waiting, and I didn't want it to be at the mercy of the human nature of the brain condition in terms of if you're tired, you want to go on with your day, or there are just delays. So I didn't want it to risk that. People wanted to go to work and not enjoying the part of their job because it happens. I wanted to be a human being in front of the officer. Also, during the midday, it's a hit and miss. So the midday is okay too. But the best I've learned and researched, and from my own experience as a lawyer over the last year since 2016, the morning is the best time. The officers come fresh. There's usually no delay because there's not an opportunity to have a delay yet. So if you can, I always recommend the morning. Usually, I would say between 7 and 10 a.m. if possible. And then with that, it's a little bit easier to also plan your future plans. And for me, I did a pre-clearance. So if there's an issue, I was still in Canada. I didn't have to worry too much about the rest. So I really recommend pre-clearance, if that's possible at all in the morning. And all of the things I could control, because I'm learning the wisdom between the things I can control and the things I can't control. And that's what lawyers do. So I did everything I could control, and with that, it helped because I came in the morning. I was there was only one or two people before me. They had different experiences, and I could hear that. I thought it would be a little bit more um, just different. It was interesting to see, but what I anticipated happened. I came in the morning. I gave my document. There was only one or two person in front of me, provided the documents, sat down, stayed in silence, and was asked to make the payment. And that made it very easy because I was still nervous,
Of course. I like that
Um,
you show this human side, not just to being a lawyer, but the aspect of what we do, which is always giving legal advice. And here we are now really sharing the human side of things and for example, taking into consideration the officers' moods and
yeah,
timing at the border. And a lot of lawyers will not get into that with a client. And yet, there's an expression which is, the devil is in the details, they say. You have to be careful. You could have the best application possible, but if you fall on a night officer who's out to really turn people away, it doesn't matter. They have discretion, and so people need to remember that and be aware of that when they apply. So that's great. Thank you for sharing all that.
yeah. And I just wanted to quickly add and respect that dynamic. And with the officer and the process, like you just mentioned, it just reminded me. Yes, I know my application is strong. I know I'm here to do exactly what I'm asking to do, but I'm not entitled to it. And that's the mindset I think everybody should go to at and be humble and ask that permission. And I think that creates the relationship that the officer and the applicant is looking for.
That's an excellent point. You have all this knowledge as a lawyer, an immigration lawyer, but you're still not coming to the border and saying, "Hey, here's my letter. Just give it to me already. I gotta go. I know I'm allowed this under Appendix D," and that's the worst thing to do because you
Yeah,
want to honor and respect the fact that the officer has full discretion.
exactly.
So it's humility, right? That's what we're talking about.
Humility, respect, and just showing to the officer you really want to help the country and be a productive member of society and not taking anything for granted. And having that balance between the lawyer hat and the human hat. And I think it's in everything in life. So I'm really happy I experienced it. And the details are everything for better or worse. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. So, what's it like to be working as a legal professional, Canadian legal professional in the New York area? Because a lot of people are looking to leave Canada and a lot of people are coming to New York. Some are going to Florida. What can you share with us about that?
Yes. So New York was a little bit of an accident, following the clues about my journey and discovering what life could be here, the opportunities. But wow, living in New York City is exhilarating, intense, and humbling all at once. And I guess that's a theme about who I am as a person. I'm passionate, but I want to be humble. I care, but I also, and I'm curious, but I also want to be grateful. Those are virtues that I hope hold in every sphere of my life. Balance is key. And so I'm surrounded here by ambition and opportunity. It's exactly where my dreams can dance and I can get to work. I have so much fire, so much light, and I feel the fire can hold me here. And I'm excited. And as a Kenyan lawyer, specifically, as you mentioned, it's a chance to offer a unique perspective. I could work anywhere, but I want my weight to matter. And I feel it does, especially with the clients and the people that we meet. and in cross-border cases, refugee, immigration work, and international clients. The weight of us being here matters, and I feel fulfilled with that. And I feel I'm growing. I cannot be comfortable. And it's also a test of adaptability, building networks, navigating licensing, bar exam, and immigration status while maintaining a full practice. I was working since as a lawyer with my own practice since 2016. But now, years later, can I navigate, rebuild network while improving and learning more? Can I do that? And um, becoming stronger with that as a person and as a lawyer. It is, if you're comfortable in your room, you need to change room. And you're telling yourself that, but when you actually do it and you go through it, I call it the washer machine experience. But when you're dry and you're clean afterwards, it's a whole new level of growth, healing,
I'm
and
gonna pause.
strength.
I'm sorry, Alina, pause.
I can't hear you.
So I paused it. I paused it because you said it's home, but you're a temporary
Okay.
resident,
Oh yeah,
so
you're right. You're right. I want to restate
I don't
that.
want that on the record. We could chop it out. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay. But why does it not say hope for pause for me? It doesn't say that.
Okay.
It's good? Mm.
It says recording on my
Okay.
end.
Okay. Perfect. Um, so I've built meaningful relationships here, not just professionally, but spiritually and culturally. I'm so excited to let my potential unfold so others can join and make the leap towards our ambition and goal. T'es sur mute. Je pense pas que...
Beautiful. That is very inspiring, and hopefully many people will follow suit. You know, if they want to move cross border, we can guide them. And I think today's discussion shows that we're going to try and guide our clients. Certainly, if you're with Alina, you will see that there will be a very large human aspect to the representation, as I hope you heard today. And just to close out, do you have any aspiring words for anyone who is considering becoming a cross-border lawyer?
Yes, absolutely. It's interesting because we are learn and we grow, and I never thought that route for myself. When I started in 2016 as a lawyer, I opened my own practice. I never thought I would open my own practice. I always thought I would just work for someone right away. I never thought I would do criminal defense work, and I was dived into it. I never thought I would leave Canada to work in America and in the New York area and now do cross-border work, and I'm doing it now. So the first advice is don't limit yourself to what you can see today. Don't wait to feel ready. Start learning, networking, and asking questions. Cross-border work is complex but deeply rewarding. You become a bridge between systems, people, and worlds. And fulfillment is at the end of that journey. And I'm experiencing it all in motion. So it's very powerful for me to share that today. And I believe that law is about people, like we talked today, and healing, not just about paperwork and winning cases. And I'm happy that I get to do work that is legal, but in a way I can help real lives, real people with their dreams, their struggles. And that is what I'm looking for. And I get to do that every day. And I'm happy.
Awesome. Very inspiring. Thank you very much for joining us today, Alina. And we're going to close out and let people know that you're going to be doing the New York Bar very soon, and we wish you lots of luck with that. It's something that is not necessary for a legal professional to do. Usually you have to get a foreign legal consultant license if you want to continue practicing your home law. But Alina is, as you can tell, someone who likes to keep going forward. And so she's going to now take the New York bar, which will allow you to do
US work and US immigration work.
exactly. So it'll be a nice complement to the cross-border practice that we already have. Thanks again, Alina. Pleasure to talk to you. Pleasure to work with you, and wishing you only good things.
Thank you, and thank you for today for inviting me for this conversation and for the mentorship that you've been offering. I'm really grateful and I'm just excited for the future.
My pleasure. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.